Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Hey, welcome to the Shrimp Tank Post-Show Wrap-Up. My name is Ted Jankin. I'm your co-host, sitting here with my co-host, Chris Hanks, who is the founder and executive director of the KSU Center of Entrepreneurship. We're here with our guest today, Jamie Bodner, who's the owner of Pinnacle Fitness, which opened up in 2008 in Buckhead. It's a wonderful gym. And we had a great interview today, folks. You should listen to the whole replay on shrimptankpodcast.com, because if you're thinking about opening a gym, I think about things like chiropractors and hair salon owners, gym owners. They have this model of scaling people who work for them that bring various skills to the table.
Yeah, so one question that came up during the podcast, which I find kind of interesting, is, moving from the doer of the thing that you do to the owner of the thing that you do. How do you move from, a guy who enjoys working out and enjoys helping other people get fit to actually owning and scaling a larger business?
It was definitely one of the hardest things, because I always tell people, too, the training aspect is what's very easy. It's simple. I love training people, and I do it easily. So it was the business aspect that's been a real challenge. And I think just having that mindset of never not failing. I'm just not going to fail. I'm going to go forward, do whatever it takes to make sure the business is successful, whether it be working 15, 16 hours a day, which I did when I first opened, and I still do now some days. But it's just a matter of having that determination, I think, is what really made it happen.
We're sort of in this diet and exercise fad world today. There's a lot of fads that are out there, and I know there's some people that run all day, and that's the workout, and there are some people that just lift lots of weights and grunt in the gym. I'm wondering if you could tell people, the biggest misnomer people have when it comes to developing a workout regimen. And I wonder if you'd also comment on this idea of core training, which I find fascinating now that I do a lot of it, how that works.
So I think you have to do what works in your lifestyle. If you only have 20 minutes in a day, that's okay. You can do a 20-minute workout, whether it be busting your butt on the rower for 10 minutes and doing push-ups and squats. So I think it's a matter of finding out what your day has to, what you can fit in your day, I think is a big part of determining what your routine is going to be. And your other question?
It's about core training, this idea of core training that you can, Jack LaLanne had the days that, I didn't really get Jack LaLanne growing up, to be honest with you. But now I have great respect for Jack LaLanne, because what you can do on a couch or a chair that you have at home in your own body weight, I laughed at 20 years ago. Today I say, I think Jack LaLanne would have whooped up on me pretty good. So,
absolutely.
How would that work for people that might be listening to this to do the core training?
So core training is so important. And actually now, so core training is really, if you think about it, it's about 4 or 5 years old, that statement. What you're realizing now is called functional training, which is ultimately very similar to core training. It's full body movements, multi-joint movements, where you're under control during the whole motion. So I think it's hugely important because it translates so much more into everyday life. A bench press, although I love the exercise, I did it yesterday, it doesn't serve you any purpose in real life. Well, who's doing this? No one's doing that anymore. But when you're bending down to pick something up and getting up with holding something in your hands, that's important. That's a ton of core strength. So it's huge. It's a huge part of just daily life. Yeah.
So I'm curious about, especially in a business like this, how do you find key talent? The Jim Collins phrase, get the right people on the bus. How do you do that? I mean, are you making sure they could just run 5 miles on a treadmill before you hire them?
So it's when I first opened, I looked for experienced, seasoned trainers, and I realized that that's not what I need. That was actually the total opposite of what I need, because what we do is very cutting edge. Science is our foundation, passion is our drive. So we really try to put the science behind it. So people that have been in the business for 20, 30 years, they're stuck with that bench press mentality. So I've actually found people in interesting places. It's really about the personality that comes along with the person. So I think I was mentioning a guy, Jeremy. He was actually a law student who we found, and we said, hey, he's got the personality, he's got the looks, he's got the ability to learn, he's got the wanting to learn, and he had a natural gift too, and he's one of our top trainers now. So it's finding the right person, and I've gotten better over the years of figuring out what makes a person that's going to fit with us and what's not. So those are kind of key elements.
Well, we appreciated the interview today and appreciated you coming on the show. For folks that are watching the post-show wrap-up and want to learn more about Pinnacle Fitness, or how they can join or get a workout and learn more about what you do with this functional training, how can people that are listening to the post-show wrap-up get in touch with you?
They can email us directly at my full name, jamiebodner@gmail.com. They can look at our website, pinnaclefitnessgym.com, or they can call 404-375-4911.
Well, thanks a lot today. And by the way, Jamie, you didn't hear him talk in the show today or in the post-show wrap-up that for those of you that golf, they've got one of the few certified golf programs in the state of Georgia. And they have something really unique if you've never tried the kinesis wall. I know that sounds like a Star Trek phrase or something like that, but it's something that you might want to check out. I recommend seeing the whole replay today from shrimptankpodcast.com to see Jamie's interview and learn more about what it would take to run a business like this if you want to swim in the shrimp tank.